Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles the Bancy. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a fantastic show for y'all. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So, let's talk about my man Kawhi Leonard and them damn Clippers. So, as you guys know, Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player, but it's been a tough 5 years supporting him, given all the injuries, the load management, the disappointing flameouts in the playoffs over the last 2 seasons in terms of him being injured. You go back 2 seasons ago, he played fantastic, excellent in the first 2 games against the Phoenix Suns, and then out of nowhere, we hear that he's injured and he won't be able to go continue on in the playoffs. That was heartbreaking. And last year, looked like things were going to work out, and then he got injured right before the playoffs. And I'm like, man, when will this stop? So coming into this season, there's a lot of skepticism on my part. And I was just like, man, you know what? I'm not going to talk about Kawhi Leonard for the majority of the season, because I know most of our audience just won't want to hear it, because they're like, bro, let him come back and do something for us to talk about. Well, folks, that's what he did last night. That is exactly what he did last night. And let me tell you something. The performance that Kawhi Leonard put forward yesterday is one of the greatest performances I have ever seen by anyone in a playoff game, ever. The guy scored 39 points, but that's not the incredible part. What was incredible was his efficiency and what was on the line. It was a game 2 that they needed to have. The Clippers had basically put all their hope and trust in this guy, and now was the time for him to deliver and step up. And let me tell y'all something. That is exactly what he did. In that game, Kawhi Leonard scored 39 points on 79% shooting from the field. 79. At one point, for a very good stretch of that game, he was shooting 90% from the floor. 91% for a good portion of that game. He shot 57% from 3, 100% from the three-point line, and had a spectacular defensive play at the end of the game to essentially ensure the victory. And if we look at Kawhi Leonard's stats thus far, obviously it's still early in the playoffs. He's playing 40 minutes a game, scoring 30.5 points per game on 70% shooting, 50% shooting from 3, 100% shooting from the free throw line in the playoffs, while getting you 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. His turnovers are quite high at 4 turnovers, but getting you 2.3 steals a game with a plus minus of 2 per game. So Kawhi Leonard has been having a fantastic playoff run thus far. And at the end of the game, the Inside the NBA crew reacted to the game. Of course, they had Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal. So when it came time for Charles Barkley to kind of assess the state of affairs of this particular series, Charles Barkley said that he believes that the Nuggets are in trouble after Kawhi Leonard's Game 2 masterpiece. But before we even get into what Chuck had to say, today's video is brought to you by sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60-plus states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I am super excited about this Game 2 matchup between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for up front. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you.
I think the Nuggets are in trouble for the simple fact the Clippers, as good as they are, they play even better at home. Their role players play much better at home. And obviously Kawhi, I think probably the one problem with Kawhi, I actually think one of the reasons he gets hurt is he doesn't play enough. I don't think he develops, like, people say get calluses and get that endurance in your body. So when he comes back, he always plays great, and then his body gives out. I wonder how long he's going to be able to sustain it, because every time he comes back, he plays great, and then he gets hurt again. But, man, I tell you, I've never seen a guy come back and don't have rust whatsoever. Yep. I mean, he is so efficient. He goes at his pace. He's a nightmare matchup because, you can't put a little guy on him and you can't put a big guy on him. But, listen, Powell, Derrick Jones, Zubats, all those guys, they play much better in L.A., so if the Nuggets cannot win one of this next couple games, this series is going to be quick.
Fantastic. So you heard what Charles had to say there. So I also want to play a little bit of what Kawhi Leonard had to say during the post-game interview, where they asked him, like, man, it's been a long journey here for you to get back to this point. How does it feel to be playing at this level right now? And what's your outlook for this series as it goes back to Inglewood when the Clippers return home? So I want to quickly play what Kawhi Leonard had to say there.
Well, James was just in here and he was saying that you don't get the appreciation that you deserve for coming back time and time again from injuries. I know you don't particularly pay attention to what's said about you, but what does it mean to have teammates like him, teammates like everybody else in that locker room who do see the work that you put in every single day and appreciate it and are able to help you get back to have a game that you had tonight?
Oh, it's great. Like you said, anybody in the business, that's playing and knows how hard it is to either come back from an injury or just even playing in the NBA. They understand, what we all go through, what I go through, and to see that from your peers and hear that from them is great. I told several people before, just thanks for helping me through stuff in time, with injuries.
And after game one, you mentioned that just the aggression was one of the things that stood out to you with the turnover issues that you had. Obviously, you came out really aggressive early in this game. How much of a point of emphasis was that, and how did you feel you were able to get to your spots and be aggressive?
I think I made shots tonight, shot a little bit more than I did last game, but it wasn't about that. You know what I mean? Some of my turnovers last game were just being aggressive and, trying to save the ball or getting rebounds, getting pushed out of bounds. So, the one that stuck out to me was this, obviously up one and getting it tipped off my hip, but it was just great defense by them. So I just wanted to come out and get a win.
Well, when you're out there in a game like this, I think you make your first 6 shots, and you miss one, then you make 6 more. I mean, were you aware that you were on that kind of a roll, being inefficient out there?
I'll just keep playing, try to stay in the zone, no matter if I'm missing or making shots. Trying to go to the next play, and that's it. Just focused on the next play and trying to win, get to my spot and shoot, and just live with the outcome, whatever game it is, how good or bad it's going.
Kawhi, you're right. How much you've got this wealth of playoff experience? Like, you've had good games, you've had bad games. Like, how much do you reach back into what you've done to help prepare you for the things that you need to do in current?
It's always a different situation for me. Next game is going to be like no other game. You know what I mean? It's what's in front of me, and that's what I'm approaching. All I know is that I've been there before. I've been here, and like I always say, as long as you're playing hard and having fun, you can live with the outcome. Just leaving it all on the floor.
So you heard everything that Kawhi Leonard had to say. What are my thoughts so far? Look, I said it in the live that we did yesterday after the game, and I'm going to reiterate my sentiments here. I said on any given night in a playoff game, Kawhi Leonard could be the best player on the floor. Watching that game yesterday, at no point in time did anybody say that, man, Nikola Jokic is on a totally different plane than Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi's on his game, I've said this, I used to say it many times in the past, and I'm going to say it again maybe for the people that never heard. There's no other player going into the playoffs when they're healthy that I would rather have on my team than Kawhi Leonard. There's nobody. You can have the Joker, you can have Giannis, you can have Luka, you can have SGA, you can have LeBron, you can have whoever, you can have Jason Tatum, you could have Anthony Edwards, you could have whoever you want to have. Give me a healthy Kawhi Leonard, and I'm going to roll the dice. The reason I'm saying that is, number one, he's a big-time player. He's a clutch player. He's going to play defense, and he's going to be efficient. Give me this guy every single time, and he can beat you in so many ways. It's also important that I say this. A major component of the Clippers' success this season has been the development of Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac's development and improvement this season is one of the reasons they are where they are right now. It would be totally foolish of me to not mention Ivica Zubac. Ivica Zubac this year, you can make an argument, as an all-NBA caliber player. He is a much improved offensive player. You can just see it in his game. He's a much improved defensive player, and his rebounding has really taken his rebounding to another level. And the fact that now he has become a legitimate post threat to score and be a defensive anchor for the team, it has given them a different complexion. And now you have two legitimate players that you can post up at any time during the game, in Ivica Zubac and Kawhi Leonard. I think the development of Ivica Zubac cannot be overlooked. Norman Powell helped carry the offense earlier this season, and then before the All-Star break, and then he hasn't really been himself, although he had a breakout game yesterday. James Harden has been the steady hand all season long, but I think Ivica Zubac has been the X factor. But in terms of a healthy Kawhi Leonard, well, you see, right? You see, and to me, I feel like it's justified for me to give Kawhi Leonard his praise, and everybody should get the hell out of my way, because son deserves it. This is the best performance we've seen thus far in the playoff. It's early. I mean, it's really, really early. But thus far, this man is putting it, like, he is doing his thing, right? And we even put up a poll about an hour ago on the channel. You can go and vote on it, where I said, who has been the best player so far these playoffs? I gave 4 options: Luka, Kawhi, Jokic, SGA. About out of the 1,000 people that have voted, 6% went for Luka, 67% went for Kawhi, 16% went for Nikola Jokic, and 11% went to SGA. So look, man, the series is going to shift back to LA, and I expect Kawhi Leonard to remind the world just how excellent of an NBA player he is, and I just cannot wait. I just can't wait. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.